Hello, listeners. Jordan here. I just want to let you know that you can listen to Nighttime early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Include it with Prime.
You are listening to Keep Canada Weird, a weekly weird news roundup by the Nighttime Podcast.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the weekly Keep Canada Weird discussion series. If you're new here, I'm Jordan, and Keep Canada Weird is a series in which my pal Aaron Airport and I seek out and explore the offbeat Canadian news stories from the past week. In tonight's episode, which was recorded on the 6th of August, 2024, Aaron and I find ourselves hot on the trail of two mystery men. One is an uninvited housekeeper in Kamloops, and the other is a naked guy in Alberta. When we're done with that, we're going to scream at the sirens of Whitby, Ontario, and receive a prophecy concerning the upcoming animal uprising. So make yourself comfy, and let's get into it. Handsome Aaron Airport, I see you over there on the other side of my screen. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I see you too. Hello.
It's become tradition. What are you drinking?
I'm actually drinking the same thing I was last week, which is the No Boats on Sunday peach cider.
Okay, I'm here with what I call like a mini Diet Pepsi. You know, the ones, it's not like a 355 milliliter can. It's like, I don't know how many milliliters it is, but I feel like Andre the Giant or something when I'm holding it. I feel like a wrestler, like I could just crush it, or like I could drink like 6 of them.
Yeah, those are the size cans I buy too.
I like them because it's not too much pop.
You're not committing to a whole pop, yeah.
No, it's not a big decision. I want a pop, sure, I'll just grab one. It's not this big deal.
It's not a big deal. You don't have to write it into your schedule.
No, exactly.
Like 2:45, drink a pop, and then for an hour.
What's new with you? Anything going on down in Cape Breton? Beautiful Cape Breton Island?
Not much. We've had such warm weather lately. It's been... I've just been at the beach almost every day.
Oh, I went outside a couple days ago and I'm still like upset about it. I got a really nasty sunburn, which I'm not happy about.
Really?
Yes, I hate.
How long were you outside?
Not long. For listeners out there, maybe I think 1% of the people suffer from something that I have called vitiligo, where you have patches of your skin that don't tan. And for anyone who has vitiligo out there, also known as the Michael Jackson disease, because that's why he kind of changed color over his career. But for people with that, you can burn so quick if you didn't put sunscreen on. If you don't put sunscreen on, I went downtown to see the buskers in Halifax, which are the street performers juggling fire and such. And it was a heavy overcast day, so I'm like, I don't need sunscreen. And pretty much like I'm like halfway downtown, and like every cloud in the sky left, and it was just like an assault of sun's rays onto my neck, gave me a horrible burn, but I had a bunch of aloe vera gel, so I'm back.
Yeah, well, the reality is you always need sunscreen.
I know, it's true, eh?
Yeah, even if it's cloudy out, those UV rays are just burning through those clouds.
It's a damn shame. Well, let's get into it. We got more to do than to complain about my sunburn or to hear you wax poetic about your pop drinking or No Boats on Sundays drinking behavior. We got to keep Canada weird here, and it's not going to be a lot of work because the country has done most of the heavy lifting for us. We got some good stories tonight. But before we get to them, you want to check in with a listener?
Yeah, that's how I insist we start every show.
Okay. I was trying to make it seem like it was this democratic thing that we decide on by, do you want to?
No, I called you late last night. You could argue it was early morning. And I was very aggressive with you over the phone saying we will start the show with a listener whether you like it or not. And if we don't, someone you care about is going to get hurt.
Okay, well, let's not allow that to happen. Let's hear from a listener named Phil who has some serious questions about your background, considering the weird photographs you were selling around your house when you were a child. And I will warn you, I think Phil's voicemail cuts off near the end, but I think I know what he's getting at. Listen to this.
Hi, Jordan and Aaron. West Coast KCW correspondent Phil calling in today. I'm calling in response to Aaron's shocking and, as Jordan says, disturbing revelation about trying to sell catalog pictures of women's underwear as a 6-year-old boy. I can't help but be reminded of my grade 5 art class where we were directed to create collages using pictures taken from the Sears or Eaton's catalogs. My classmate Bruce, not his real name, chose to make a collage using pictures of women's brasiers. He was promptly escorted to the principal's office when the teacher saw his artwork. Later that week, Bruce came to school with no fewer than a dozen bandages plastered all over his face. By recess, the bandages were all gone and there was no injury to be seen. When we step back and look at Bruce's behavior in totality, it is very clear that he was seeking attention.
And that's where Phil's voicemail ends. So I believe what Phil is getting at is that maybe that story about your childhood wasn't true and you were just maybe trying to get a rise out of us or a reaction out of us. Is that possible? Is there anything you want to say? Is there anything you need us
The
to say to
story
you?
is true. I don't know if I was 6. I just know I was young. Like I just kind of threw that out as a random age. I was young,
Okay.
I was definitely younger than 10, older than 5. I don't know how old I was, but and I only did it for a day or two,
Mhm.
because it proved to be very ineffective as a generating revenue. But um, yeah, it was. See, a lot of people might interpret that story as being perverted or in some type of a sexual way, but that's the wrong way to look at it. It was the playful nature of and the art of the female form and women's underwear in general. It's very artistic, much more than men's underwear, I think.
I think that's fair to say,
And
yeah.
so I looked at it as more of a celebration of beauty, and that's what I wanted to sell to the customer. So,
Your family.
yeah, whoever was in the kitchen at the time.
What do you think of Phil's story, though? This Bruce guy, he made a collage just out of bras. I would love to see that collage.
I'm sure it's probably was really good.
And I also love the play of like, yeah, like when he's taken out of school, Bruce comes to class the next day and he knows everyone's going to be like, what happened? What happened? To just plaster your face with band-aids as if you got the living crap kicked out of you.
Hmm.
That's a sweet move. I wish I was in that class. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, his collage could have been very good, and it's too bad that the school censored him and stifled his creativity.
Censorship, it's a freedom of speech issue, and it's been going on a long time.
Yeah, no, it's a tale as old as time, unfortunately.
You know what else is a tale as old as time? Mystery men doing odd things and raising the eyebrows of not mystery people. And we got 2 stories of mystery men tonight. You want to jump right into them?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll give you an option though. Do you want to hear about a mystery man in a house or a naked mystery man?
Let's start with the mystery man in the house and then build up to the naked man.
Okay. We don't need to really, it's not really building up though, because the mystery man in the house is a pretty friggin' crazy story. Let's get into this one. This is the story of a mysterious housekeeper or house sitter in Kamloops. Rob Baker and Helena Pavanen noticed something unusual when they returned to their Kamloops home after a short vacation. The home, which should have been locked up tight, it looked lived in. When they entered their home, the suspicions were confirmed. While they were away, a mysterious stranger made himself very comfortable in their home. Listen to this.
This house on the South Thompson River is locked up tight. Rob Baker and Helena Pavanen had some unexpected company this summer. The Kamloops homeowners had just returned from a few days away when Rob noticed his motorcycle in the driveway and not in the garage where he'd left it.
We opened the door, went inside, and someone was preparing their lunch. Walk into the house, the lights were on, which doesn't make sense. We don't leave them on when we go away for a few days. He's standing in the kitchen about to wash a frying pan. I asked him what he was doing there, and he said he's staying there, that someone told him he could stay here. I suggested that was not the case, that he should leave, and I would call the police. I did call the police, and he got a little upset at that. Well, he was cooking food. He'd turned the ice maker on so that he had ice for his water. He'd helped himself to a lot of things, was watching TV in the living room, washed his clothes in the washing machine. Interestingly, folded his underwear and put them in my drawer. It could have been so much worse. It doesn't appear that he stole anything. It doesn't appear that he damaged anything. And I am ever so grateful that he did not invite his friends over for a party.
The home, surrounded by gardens and high fences, backs onto the river. That's the direction the intruder ran when the police were called. Having someone living in their home for several days was disconcerting.
Bars on the window, we're moving out. I freaked out initially, but the RCMP were so calm and helpful. They settled me down, but yeah. No, I was very freaked out.
The RCMP attended, bagged up the evidence, and tried to narrow down a point of entry. The investigation is ongoing. As Helena changes the sheets on the bed, she thinks about what they could have done differently. Her advice to the rest of us? Slow down. Don't be in a rush to leave your home. Take the time to make sure that everything is locked up tight.
That is a weird one. What the hell is going on? The mysterious stranger who took off before the police arrived, so we don't know why he did this. His claim to them was someone told him he could be in there. I don't think that's true at all. I think he just broke in and squatted. And we should also say, for people who haven't watched this video, this isn't like a regular house. This is like a gorgeous house with like a big high gate and wall around it. It looks like a museum inside there. A beautiful house.
Yeah, like it's a really high fence that surrounds the house. And then like a gate that is automatic. It opens up, and it's not just like a chain gate or whatever. Like it's a legit like high, it's very like, wooden, thick, like
you would
gate.
you would pull your car up and like press a button, and then the intercom would be like, yes, and you'd be like, delivery for doctor, whatever. And okay, I'll open the gate. It looks like that sort of gate. This guy must have, I don't know, jumped the fence or what. And
I wonder if he knew somehow that they were going to be gone. And as they were pulling out, because we have this big, large gate and it kind of closes and opens very slowly. Mm-hmm. So you have time to drive through it, right? Mm-hmm. So I wonder if he was waiting off to the side, outside of the gate, knowing that they're going to be leaving on their trip. The car pulls out, the gate is still slowly closing, and then he sneaks in through the gate just before it closes.
Maybe it could be something like that, but then the mysteries all still remain as why he was so comfortable in there, to like be doing laundry, to be, cooking, running the ice machine. He was just living his best life, this mystery man, in this house for whatever it was, the roughly 2 days. And I'd hazard to even guess what would possess him to put his underwear in the owner's underwear drawer. Like that to me just screams like bizarre. Oh,
sorry. I'm allergic to stories about underwear now. We've talked about it so much. I think him saying the underwear thing, we don't have any evidence that he's telling the truth, a homeowner.
Oh. What do you think he's
just
he's trying
like,
to sell it?
and he even used my underwear drawer, folded his underwear and put them in there. It's like, I don't believe him for some reason.
Really? That just doesn't ring true to you.
Yeah, no, it doesn't at all. I feel like there's something more going on there with this man's underwear.
Uh-oh.
In particular.
Really? Are you sensing like a conspiracy or a cover-up or something?
I think he's using this incident to cover up an issue of him having too much underwear. He never throws his underwear away.
Okay.
And then he promised his wife before the trip, I'm going to throw away all of the underwear that you want me to throw away. I know it bothers you, and it's, our anniversary is coming up, and for your anniversary, our anniversary, I want to get you a reasonable underwear drawer that you don't have to worry about anymore.
Mm.
So he promises her, but because he has an addiction to his own underwear, he basically lied to her and said that he threw out, say 75% of his underwear. And then,
which would be about 200 pairs.
When they got home from the trip, the wife looks in the underwear drawer and she's like, your drawer is still filled with underwear. You don't think that, but you threw all yours out. You don't think the man put his underwear in there, do you? And then her husband's like, yeah, that's definitely what happened, because I threw all those underwear out like you asked me to.
Yeah, and it's probably good he came up with that quick, because for his wife to deal with the mystery man, the breach of privacy and all this stuff with having this guy in her house, and then to find out betrayal.
Mm-hmm. And then she's like, well, we definitely have to throw these underwear out because they don't belong to you. And he's like, no, we can't do that because the police need the underwear to stay where they are because we can't tamper with the evidence.
And it all continues.
Yeah. And then the web of lies just keeps being spun.
Wow. And meanwhile, some mystery man is just running down the street like those people were nuts.
Yeah, living it up in somebody else's house. It's a great plan. I know these people are going away. I'm going to go in there and kind of pretend that not, if I'm caught, if I'm not gone by the time they get back, I'm just going to tell them like, oh no, like I booked this on Airbnb, or someone said I could be here. And that's why he was so cavalier about it.
Yeah, he could be like, I must have been scammed by someone that got me in here.
And he probably has a fake booking confirmation and everything.
Yeah, because you hear like these stories of people like doing scams with like Airbnbs, or like just putting pictures of someone's house up online and trying to get people to give damage deposits for rent and stuff. Like that's a thing. So you could just be like, I'm just a victim of this. And you could just crash in people's houses.
Yeah. It's I think I might do that sometime.
I think the wife had the best quote at the end there by saying, so make sure your place is locked up good and tight before you go. I recommend everybody out there listening get a video doorbell. I've never felt so secure with my home when I'm not here ever since I got my video doorbells. I have like a couple different cameras and video doorbells that I can look at from my phone. I used to just have a regular alarm, and every so often I'd get like a false alarm when I was away, and I'd have like a nervous breakdown. Now I can just pick up my phone and just flip through the different cameras, see my yard, see my doors, everything's recorded. Feels great. If they
had the same things. I don't have the Ring doorbell, but I have a few of the cameras set up that I just watch from my phone, and whenever there's motion detected, sends a notification to my phone, and I just have a peek and see who's going through my underwear drawer.
And it's not expensive. It gives you peace of mind. I love it. I'm so glad I got them. But it would have been cool if they had them, because I'm guaranteed there would have been some interesting video from this whole situation in Kamloops.
You would think someone who lives in a home that nice as theirs looks to be, that they would have some kind of a security system.
Well, this is an older couple. I don't want to boomer bash, but video doorbells and all this stuff, there is a technical element to it, and I wonder if maybe they're just not comfortable with the technology, and they relied instead on a big gate around their house to keep them safe, not realizing
their gate is probably more complicated than any kind of a app on their phone.
Yeah, that's true. Well, this mystery man will remain a mystery until the police get this guy, if they ever do. Let's move on to another mystery man. And this one, this needs solving, because this is a weird one. We're going to go from Kamloops, BC to beautiful Alberta. A naked man has been spotted by campers in Kananaskis country, Alberta, several times over the last month. And so far, he's been able to evade the efforts of RCMP to find him and ask him what the hell is going on.
A bizarre bear sighting of sorts in Kananaskis country. RCMP are searching for an elusive man who's been spotted completely naked at a campground several times over the last month. And as Terry Fikowski reports, they want to find him and find out why he's naked in nature.
It doesn't take long to spot some form of wildlife in Kananaskis country.
We've seen one grizzly bear so far.
There are plenty of warnings to be bear aware, but signs about a man seen bearing it all, a little harder to believe.
There's apparently a naked man on the loose, if you will.
Oh, is this a real interview?
RCMP are searching for a man who has been spotted naked at Mount Kidd RV Park several times in July. Mounties have found some of his shelters in the area, but haven't been able to find him.
There's been no reports that he's been involved in any acts other than being naked. It is a little weird that he, keeps getting spotted and then keeps running away.
One Reddit user described running into the nude man, posting, "He took off like a deer, hurtling and moving through the trees like an animal that knew the trails well."
It's not funny, but it kind of is. It's like, okay, watch for bear and, the bear naked out there when you're out there.
But all laughs aside, campers say they're keeping a closer eye on their kids.
That's a little disconcerting. Absolutely. This is a family environment. And, you have to think what's going on with this guy.
It's inappropriate and not necessary for sure. And hopefully they do catch him and, see what's going on with the individual.
RCMP want to know too and say while criminal charges can be laid around public nudity or indecent exposure, at this point in their investigation, they just want to find the man.
We don't know if there's something larger here that may threaten, some individuals, or it could just be somebody that likes to camp in the woods naked. At this point, we just don't know.
Management here at Mount Kidd says it's offering all of its support to RCMP in hopes of apprehending this individual, and it's asking its campers if they spot a naked man to report it. In Kananaskis country, Terry Fikowski, CTV News.
The man is described as white with a slim stature and possibly a beard.
Oh, man.
I like the man is described as white, slim-statured, and possibly has a beard.
No one noticed whether or not he had a beard. They were just looking at his butt as he ran away.
Yeah, I guess people weren't taking him seriously because of him being naked. They're staring lower than higher.
Yeah, he's like, my beard is up here.
Or is it?
With this story, it's like what he's doing. I don't think they haven't come out and said it's illegal and we want to arrest him. I like that this whole investigation is like, we just want to know what this guy is doing. Like, there's a bunch of reports of a naked man. We're looking around, and instead of finding this guy, we're finding like shelters he built, which is maybe more disturbing. Like, is this someone who's living in like these kind of makeshift shelters in and around the RV park and is naked and is like scared of people? Like, we heard that report there. Someone saw him and he ran like a deer. I'm assuming they mean like off the path and just ran into the brush, which is kind of wild. This is like a wild man who was raised by wolves. And he's bothering people because he's naked.
Yeah. I guess he's a little too far away from Kamloops, eh?
Yeah, I don't think it's the same guy. I thought so. But it's just that, the one thing they have in common is that they're mystery men. But I think there's a lot of them in Canada.
But if he left all of his clothes in the Kamloops residence.
Shoot, his underwear are back at Buddy's drawer.
Yeah. So he's probably, and he's clearly someone who struggles with having a permanent residence. So
maybe these shelters. Oh man, imagine this was all just one big roller coaster. Flees Kamloops, runs to the middle of nowhere, Alberta, and now he just doesn't know his next play because he's butt naked. So he's just stuck in the brush.
He's trying to find a house to maybe sneak into, but then he keeps getting caught and then he keeps having to run away.
Oh man, this is
or unless he's just a playful nudist. Just an innocent, playful nudist frolicking about in the woods.
Yeah, the RV park.
And then when someone spots him, it's like, tee-hee-hee, and then he runs away. You'll never catch me. But I worry for this naked individual because he must have a real issue with ticks,
just even mosquito bites and deer flies, like in the middle of nowhere in Alberta in the forest. You'd think he'd be getting eaten alive bearing it all like that.
My major concern is Lyme disease.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Is it a big thing in Alberta? Probably, right?
I don't know.
It is here.
Again,
It scares the hell out of me. I don't every time I mow the lawn now, I wear big rain boots that go right up to my knees so those little devils don't sink into my ankles and kill me.
yeah, and they'll instantly kill you.
Yeah.
It sounds like naked is a choice here
Mhm.
because you can always find something to, a tablecloth or something you can steal for some people who are having a picnic or anything.
But think how ridiculous that would look. I saw a naked man with a weird cape running through the
No, he would
woods.
be more if it's a full tablecloth that you would have on a picnic table, then you could make like a Roman like toga out of that.
Oh, that would be cool. I think I saw Jesus in the forest.
Yeah, and some kind of a red and white checkered robe
running through the woods from me.
with covered in coleslaw stains.
This is a weird one. I would feel uneasy though with that going on in and around my area. So I understand the concerns those people have. And it seems like everyone for the most part is like, we just want to know, is there anything going on? Like, what's the story with this guy? That's what I'd want to know. Like, why is he doing it? Is he just like a weird nudist who likes to walk in the woods naked? Or, is this something where we should be worried about? And yeah, I get that. Who's more offensive? You're walking through the woods, you're enjoying the park. Would you rather run into this naked man who may or may not have a beard, or the guy we covered maybe 6 or 8 months ago who converted his a baby stroller into like a DJ booth?
I think the more offensive one is the DJ who converted the baby stroller into a DJ booth while walking along the trails, playing loud dance music.
Yeah, because you can look
That's
away from the naked
100%
man.
more offensive than seeing a man naked.
And that's a deep cut for people new to Keep Canada Weird. We probably covered that maybe a year ago. I can't even remember his name, but I think you and I both condemned his activities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I saw today? I should have mentioned this off the top of the show, but it was pretty weird, but it was I couldn't stop at the time, but there was an eagle eating a dead raccoon on the side of the road today.
Ugh.
I think it was a bald eagle.
Really?
That's what it looked like. Yeah, it was massive.
Well,
It
yeah,
looked like a bald eagle.
Well, you're in Cape Breton. We would have them there.
Yeah,
Weird. Did you do anything or did you just say, whoa?
I just said, "Whoa."
What can you do? You could honk your horn and try to save the raccoon? No, he's
No, the
long
raccoon
gone.
was already dead. Its guts were everywhere.
Ugh. This is a gross story.
Sorry.
Okay, it could have been a vulture. I don't know if an eagle would eat.
No, it wasn't a vulture. Vultures are a whole different can of worms.
Yeah.
It was an eagle.
So you saw some nature happening.
Yeah, but it was unusual nature. I would think an eagle, being the stoic and regarded creature that it is, would never lower itself to eating roadkill.
He's probably pretty embarrassed you saw him. Like you looked at him like, ugh, and he looked at you like, oh.
Don't look at me. Don't tell anyone.
Um,
And then I immediately told
yeah,
a podcast to thousands of people.
Tens of people. The eagle was embarrassed to see you, seeing him do that. The police officer who eventually has to find and confront this naked man and ask him questions, I think that would be a little embarrassing. Would you say? Difficult, awkward conversation?
For the police officer?
Yeah, to be like, sir, could you?
Nah, it's just another day for the police officer.
Okay. Well, that question is a segue to the next story. There's something I want to get into. I don't know if it'd be an update or maybe just digging a little deeper into a story we talked about last week that involves maybe a difficult conversation with a police officer, at least a weird one, but it definitely involves a conversation with a police officer. I want to catch up on the Wasaga Beach poop story, and I'm going to do it with a voicemail. So this issue concerning the poop on the beach in Wasaga Beach has continued to be a hotbed of discussion, and the talk is mostly bad. During our talk last week, we mentioned how the allegations about pooping on the beach seemed to start with one woman's second-hand account shared on TikTok. However, at the time that we recorded last week, the account seemed to have been removed from the platform. I assumed it was removed simply because the poster just wanted to step outside of the fire of a viral, controversial video. But a listener named Jason gave us a bit of an update on that account, and I dug in deeper. Let's listen to the voicemail first. Here's Jason.
Hey guys, it's Jason in the greater Sudbury area. This is in regards to the lady that accused people of defecating on Saga Beach. I saw another TikTok where it showed the police at her door and that they demanded she remove her TikTok account and her other social media platforms. And this was under the threat that she would be charged with hate crimes. Again, if I find the video, I'll send you a link, but in the meantime, stay safe, keep it weird.
So I did some research on this, and I thought there's no way the police would respond to a video where someone is just, saying this stuff. But then I thought, it did create a really big stir. It's become even like a political issue in and around Wasaga Beach. So maybe they did. And I did a bit of digging, and sure enough, it is true. The police, or the Ontario Provincial Police, the OPP, went to this woman's house who made the initial TikTok video. And in Jason's voicemail, he suggests that maybe they threatened her with charges. I don't know if that's true, but she did film the interaction with the police officer. And if you think you can handle an awkward conversation, do you want to hear a little bit of what it sounds like when the cops show up at your door to challenge you? Or not challenge you, just to kind of question you about making a video that maybe is spreading fake information and creating social unrest?
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear it?
Of course I do.
Okay, you got a thick stomach. Here it comes.
Well, I watched an eagle eat a raccoon today.
Yeah,
so.
This should be nothing. I hate kind of these tense moments. And this one is the cop is like at her door. She's holding her phone, like pointing it in his face kind of and challenging him. And I'll play it and then we'll talk about what we hear.
Okay. Yeah.
The audio you're about to hear starts maybe 30 seconds into their conversation.
I wasn't threatening anyone. Nothing like that.
I personally have not had any calls for this type of behavior on the beach.
Yeah.
And from what my understanding, it's actually these actual incidents happened some time ago.
No, it's been recently, and my friend sent me proof a couple days ago, and if I can even she messaged me that her stepdaughter jumped into a hole, and then I went to the beach and filmed all the tents on the beach. Yeah.
Maybe talk about tents.
I've only made one video that went extremely viral about it.
But maybe don't note a particular race.
Well, I'm entitled to speak on my experiences. I did not tell anybody to attack them. I did not allow racism. I've made it clear that I do not condone to racism. My daughter is.
So all those things are good.
Yeah.
But maybe encourage people to call the bylaw.
I have, and I even in the news article you can read that I did say that if you guys see something, say something. That's been my motto, and I said this doesn't just go for anyone of that race.
It's anyone who does it.
It's just what I've seen, and I was told it was cultural, so I said that's besides the point, because I don't want my kids to step in it. My friend's daughter did a couple of days ago.
I don't want anyone I know.
It's a biohazard, and I was not targeting a specific group of people. I have since broadened my words.
I'm not here to.
I know, but you guys came to my house though, and it's embarrassing, and I'm entitled to my feelings.
I'm not here to lecture you.
I know.
And I'm not here to condemn you. I'm here to. Whatever stuff
I did nothing wrong, and I'll continue to talk about it because I'm allowed to, but I don't support anybody specifically targeting people.
I'll end it there. That's about all I can take. I just think, like, for one, we have to air that because it's a significant update, I think, to the story last week. But what do you think that cop was trying to do? Like, I just don't know why he even went there, unless he was going to threaten her or like investigate something. It seems like he's just kind of like, when you make the videos, can you maybe mention, the tents, but don't specifically?
Yeah, he was specifically asking her to not mention like any particular group of people.
Yeah, which makes sense. And maybe
he never threatened her with charging her with hate crimes or anything.
Yeah, there's that said, there could be more before and
There
after
could be
what we
more
played.
before and after, but from what we're hearing, he's not saying that. It kind of sounds to me like he's encouraging her, if you're going to make any more posts about this, just encourage people to, if they do see anything, to reach out to the authorities. But
yeah, the bylaw people. But it seems like everything I've heard from the officials, be it police or the Wasaga Beach city spokespeople, is that these incidents, there is no evidence of this having actually happened. Where her stories, like even in that clip we hear, is like, my friend's daughter like fell in one of the holes. Like, and it seems like the narrative is that there's these holes of poop all over the beach that people are like falling into, and it's a biohazard. But
yeah, just like craters on the moon.
This is a weird one, but whatever ended up happening here, it seems like she has taken down her TikTok account. Maybe it's from the cops showing up at her door. Maybe it's because it was just creating such chaos in that area. She wanted to get away from it, which I can totally understand. But I think the whole thing is just like this weird, ugly incident, and I hope we never have to talk about it again.
Yeah, I hope the next time we talk about poop, it's in a different story.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely come up again.
Yeah, it has to.
But this is like the awkward section of the episode. You and the Eagle, we had this conversation with a police officer asking someone about the TikTok video they made about people pooping on the beach. We have another awkward one coming up. This isn't like cringe awkward. It's just funny awkward. This involves a Whitby, Ontario man who's very sick of the police sirens. So sick that he's called 911. Here's the background on it. In their efforts to reduce the amount of inappropriate calls to 911, the Durham Regional Police released a 911 call from a man in Whitby. And the call is so stupid that we have to listen to it. I love 911 calls when they're crazy. This is maybe my new favorite because it's just a straight up complaint about the police to the police.
Require police, fire, ambulance.
No, this is just a complaint. Sorry, I'm just wondering. I'm a resident here in Whitby, and I hear the Durham Region Police. The sirens are going off like every hour. Is everything okay?
Well, it's the weekend, right? So it's busy.
Busy with what?
I can't tell you what's going on, but I mean, there's no risk into the area that you're right now. But I mean, it's busy.
Okay.
Durham Region has expanded so much. Yeah.
I grew up here my whole life. It's a bit of a complaint. Sorry, I'm going to complain.
No.
And I don't know. Like I grew up here my whole life. I never hear sirens like this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless there's a lot of crime going on, I don't know what you guys are doing, but it's a bit of a disturbance, to be honest.
Okay, well, if the sirens are going, it's for a reason. The officers have to go to emergencies, right? And Durham Region population has expanded exponentially, especially in the last couple of years. So our call volume has also increased exponentially. So if you're hearing police sirens, there could be car accidents, there could be domestics, there can be missing people, there can be all different types of emergencies the officers have to respond to.
What happened?
I can't tell you anything, sir, but we've got, obviously, if you're hearing police sirens, it's for a reason. They don't just turn them on for no reason.
Okay. No, I'm not trying to get upset. I'm just saying it's like it's a Saturday. I hear sirens in the morning. I hear sirens Friday night. Like we're not in Chicago. We're not in the Bronx, right? Like we're in a very safe neighborhood. So I don't know. To me, it just seems like the cops can maybe do a bit of a better job of not disturbing the peace. But I mean,
if they have to have their sirens on, sir, they have to have their sirens on.
For what?
If you would like to complain, you'd have to contact our non-emergency number, and you can feel free to come in and speak with the staff sergeant. That's
I would love to do that. I'll get a log, and then I'll bring it to you guys. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye-bye now.
What's this guy doing?
Complaining.
I guess, but I've never been so annoyed by something that I'm like, I'm going to call 911 about this.
Well, I mean, when you call 911, someone will listen to you.
That's true. You get like a couple seconds.
Like, why didn't she hang up on the guy right away?
Well, she was painfully patient.
I feel like she almost encouraged him by answering his questions, by basically giving validity to his
Yeah,
complaints.
like the city has expanded. It's the weekend. There's domestics, missing people, car accidents. There's all sorts of I think she gave him way too long of a leash. The second question, like once I got a sense of like, oh my God, this guy's complaining about sirens, I would have been like, sir, like, are you in the middle of an emergency that involves talking to me, or should you just be calling the non-emergency line or writing a letter to your like MLA or something? Like, I'm
Yeah,
shocked she
exactly.
gave him, and especially if it actually in fact was a busy night.
Or go to the police station and speak to the receptionist,
And have them ignore you.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as it was established that he was calling to complain about how loud the sirens were, she should have
Or how
immediately
often.
said, "Okay, sir, this is an emergency line. I cannot tie it up any further. Goodbye."
Yeah, man. People are so senseless sometimes. Like what a waste of access to emergency operators if need be for just this like grumpy old man. Imagine this guy, what he does. I would love to meet him. No, actually, I wouldn't want to meet him. I'd love to meet somebody who knew him.
Yeah.
I have a feeling
I'm
he'd be
sure,
miserable to meet.
did he mention that he had a wife?
No, he mentioned he lived in the area for a long time. It never used to be like this. There's sirens Saturday morning. There was sirens Friday night. It's not like we're in Detroit or the Bronx or something. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also like it seemed like he wasn't. I think she thought the 911 operator thought he was trying to find out like what calls are you responding to, but his thing was just this generic like why are you guys doing this?
Why are you turning on the sirens?
Yeah.
What is the point of it all? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine living with this man though? Like everything would drive this guy crazy.
Oh yeah. Because it's you hear sirens if you live in a city, you tune it out. I don't even hear them when they go by my house or whatever, unless I'm recording something. That actually drives me crazy. If I'm recording like a narration or a podcast or something, and when like well, and then this happened, then I hear the siren, I have to stop. I take a big sigh like that, like fucking pricks all the time.
Yeah, these emergencies. Do they have to play these sirens so loud in these emergencies if they even are emergencies?
Yeah, well, whoever this guy is, screw you, buddy. You're a prick.
Jeez,
That's how I feel.
man, you've lost your cool today.
That's how I feel. Don't say I've lost my cool because a lot of people are about to lose their cool. Before we move on to our final kind of topic, anything about any of the past stories you want to get into? And the reason I'm giving you this opportunity now is because what's about to happen potentially could be such a game changer that I don't think you're going to want to talk about anything else for a while. Anything on your mind before I turn your world upside down?
Well, I think I've said my piece about all of the stories, so okay. I don't have anything further to add to any of them.
Imagine this. Early this morning, I get the keys from my mailbox. I walk over to the Keep Canada Weird mailbox. I stick the key in, turn it, open it. I was expecting to find like maybe some returned mail from when I sent Keep Canada Weird correspondent badges to people and entered their addresses wrong and the post office sent it back to me, which happens quite regularly. I was also thinking, who knows, maybe I have like a renewal for some kind of registration or something that I have to deal with. Mm-hmm. Instead, I found a manila envelope, a padded bubble envelope, addressed to Keep Canada Weird, no return address on there. I peel the thing open. What do I find inside? I'm expecting, a letter, stickers, maybe some homemade art, which we've received before in the mail. Instead, I just found an unmarked cassette tape. Luckily for me, I do have a cassette player in my house, and I think maybe that's why they sent a cassette tape to me, because I have talked in the past about collecting VHS and cassette tapes. When I put that cassette tape in, I think it's changed everything. We've talked a lot about the animal uprising. We've talked a lot about A-Day being the day that the switch is actually flipped. What was on the cassette was a prediction, a prophecy, maybe an insider look at what's about to happen.
You have asked when the launch of the animal uprising will occur, and I'm here to tell you the cataclysmic A-Day event will occur on April the 1st, 2025. Here's the grim truth. April 1st is April Fool's Day, a perfect cover for the animal uprising. Humans will dismiss the initial reports as mere pranks. But the dawn of April 2nd will reveal a new world order, with animals regaining full control and humanity stunned by a swift coup d'etat. The astute among us, like you at Keep Canada Weird, have seen the signs, but it's already too late. On April the 1st, 2025, the animals will seize control and they will dominate the remaining 3/4 of the century. This is not a mere prophecy or a wild guess. I know this to be true. Prepare yourselves.
That's all that's on the cassette.
April
1st, 2025.
So, who is this person? Well, did they leave any
The only
hint or
name
clue
was
of who they are?
Yeah, they wrote Animal Ann. Animal, like ANNEIMAL. ANNE. Animal Ann.
So it's a human.
Yeah. And the voice, like when I hear it, it sounds British or something, or like
sounds like it's got it's been modulated, and
it
sounds like
definitely
there is an accent there. But
yeah, I hear a British person, but kind of with a voice disguised, female, predicting April 1st, 2025. They say this isn't a wild guess. I know it to be true. Prepare yourselves. And I think the other details is like they say why April 1st, and I think that's that was interesting. This idea that if something like this was going to happen, to do it on April 1st when people see, a gang of raccoons overwhelm city core, take over city hall, you'd be like, oh, what is this stupid April Fool's joke?
Yeah. And it seems like every newspaper in the country is trying to pull the same April Fool's joke at the same time.
Well, every newspaper in the country that actually reports news has gone out of business. It's all just like random like blogs and Twitter accounts and stuff. And those are the ones that pull the really sneaky pranks. So I would, when April 1st, you pull up your phone and you see something like that being reported on, 25,000 deer take over Vancouver. You'd be like, oh, that's nonsense.
So, well, I'm wondering, like, this individual, are they trying to warn us? Are they, like, is there something, like, what's their motivations? That's kind of my main question, because this could be somebody just making it up. It could be somebody that actually has some information and is warning us, but why not give us more information than what you're giving?
Well, I've listened to it several times, and just some kind of counterpoints to what you just said is they say it's already too late. And they also said, be prepared. So a part of me thinks, and when I thought about this before sharing it with you, maybe it's being sent knowing that we're not going to be able to change the course of what happens, but maybe we'll be able to save ourselves in some way by being prepared. We have, I guess we'd be left with less than a year to deal with this. We're talking 8 months from now.
It would have been nice to have some information on how to prepare. Like, is your standard bomb shelter going to help out? Or, like, I imagine the animal uprising, they're coming right into our home. So even if you're hiding in your basement with some canned goods, like, that's not really going to cut it, because they're going to come right down the stairs and they're going to trample you. So what do? We can't run to the woods
naked
because
man
clearly the animals are going to get us there as well. We can't go into the waters. We can't go to the skies, because they're everywhere. So how to prepare? I mean, my kind of strategy from when we first started seeing the signs was to submit immediately to the animal overlords and hope that they kind of have some kind of mercy on me.
And whatever
that's really how I've been preparing.
Yeah. Whatever points you've gained though with them, I think you lost a lot of it when you crossed paths with that eagle eating the forbidden fruit, roadkill.
But
And
it's
now,
not like I tried to stop the eagle, but at the same time, I guess I shouldn't have mentioned it, but this thing came in before I mentioned anything about that.
That eagle maybe would be a little happier knowing you're not around.
But that's just one eagle.
That's true.
Yeah.
Either way, I think this was an interesting voicemail or an interesting cassette to receive. Do you believe it? Like, do you think this makes sense? Because I'm kind of 50-50.
It's an interesting idea. Like, I can see the benefit of using April 1st as a smoke screen, and then, people not believing it and therefore letting their guards down, but then getting steamrolled by the animal uprising.
Yeah.
But
April 2nd would be a real wake-up call when you pull up your
it's
phone.
too late by April 2nd.
Yeah. But if you were getting through April 1st being like, what a weird day. What a bunch of weird April Fool's jokes. April 2nd comes around, you're like, it's happening. Here's what I want to do with this is I think we speak as curators of the Keep Canada Weird Army. I'm wondering if the Keep Canada Weird Army thinks we should take this seriously. Should we be starting some kind of countdown to A-Day leading up to April 1st, 2025? I want to hear voicemails from people out there. Do you think this prediction is a prophecy that will come true, or is it just the ramblings of a paranoid freak who managed to get my mailing address from my website?
Yeah, a real Sherlock Holmes.
That said, if anyone does want to send mail to the show, even if it's weird things like this, you can send us voicemails at nighttimepodcast.com/contact, but the mailing address is also there. We've received several cool things before. I'm looking up at my little workspace here. We got some homemade cards. I had some cool bead art that we received. So you can send us anything. It can even be weird. That's cool. Just no poison, please.
Yeah. Well, I don't care because it's going to.
I open.
You're the one picking up the mail.
Yeah. Well, I think we've been through enough tonight. We've had some weird stories. We've had our first prophecy, I believe. Let's put a bow on this.
Let's put a bow on this, yeah, and tuck ourselves into bed, and enjoy our final year of peaceful slumbers.
Handsome Aaron Airport. Until next time.
Jordan, until next time.
Handsome Aaron Airport. Until next time, when you walk out of your house to go away for any length of time, make sure it's locked up good and tight. And if you told your special someone that you were going to do something, make sure you do it before you leave. And you can't count on some weird person to show up and serve as your scapegoat, your sacrificial lamb.
And Jordan, until next time.
You pricks! What is with this sound? I want to thank you for helping Aaron and I fulfill our mission to keep Canada weird, but let us call out to you for even greater support in this work. If something weird happens in your neck of the woods, we want to hear about it. If you have any thoughts, theories, opinions, or anything at all to say about anything we discussed tonight, we want to hear about that too. The best way to reach us is by sending us a voice message using the built-in app, which can be found at nighttimepodcast.com/contact. And to sweeten the deal for you a little bit, if your voice is aired on the show, you qualify for a Keep Canada Weird swag pack. So once you hear your voice message played, you can send me an email at nighttimepodcast@gmail.com. Give me your mailing address, and I'll get something out to you right away. Aaron and I are excited to hear from you. Now, before we part, I'm going to end with some thanks. First, a big thanks to my collaborator Aaron for sharing another evening with me and with you, the listeners of Nighttime. A big shout out to the internet's favorite cult leader, Unicole, who provides the intro and outro voiceovers for Keep Canada Weird. A big thanks to Monty Data, who provides the outro version of O Canada you're about to hear. And then lastly, but most importantly, I want to give a big thank you to every one of you listening, as without your interest and your support, this show would be as pointless as it would be impossible. Now, on the topic of support, let me thank the newest subscribers to the Nighttime Premium feed. Derek, Jordan, and Chris, thank you for going premium. And for anyone else who'd like to support the show, you can do it in a variety of ways. First of all, a premium feed subscription costs just a couple dollars a month, and that money funds the creation of new episodes. But the premium feed will also give you those episodes 2 days early, give them to you ad-free, and give you access to a full back catalog of episodes. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you can go premium at nighttimepodcast.com/subscribe. And even if you don't want to go premium, you can still support the show by simply sharing this episode on social media and telling all your like-minded friends why they should listen. Your support in this is very much appreciated. Now until next time, take care of each other, hug your loved ones tight, and let us know if you see anything weird.
Keep Canada Weird is written, hosted, and produced by the Nighttime Podcast.
And now to our viewers and listeners everywhere. Good night.
One thing left to do. Oh. We have one thing left to do, and that is the story of the night. I don't even need to think about it at all. I think the host guest, the unexpected, uninvited host guest, was the story of the night for me. It has it's a mystery, it's unusual, it's weird, it has this kind of fun-loving, happy-go-lucky couple in the heart of it that seems to not be taking the whole thing too seriously. That's my story of the night. How about you?
My story of the night, I would have to say that it would be the man calling in about the sirens.
Yeah, what do you like about him? Just how sour and salty he was.
Yeah, and I just like that he had the balls to call 911 about it. You know, that's a man who sticks to his, you know, he's got convictions, and he's like, you know what, this is an emergency because I am so bothered by it. How annoyed do you have to get before it becomes an emergency?
Yeah, he's right at that breaking point, man. Everything must drive him nuts. Imagine dealing with this guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's married, but if he is, his poor wife is the most patient woman in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure he's single. He strikes me as single.
He smells of single.